Okay, great. So, like I said, we are going to talk about mastering the art of the follow-up. As you know, in today's day and age, that our customers are demanding closer and more personal relationships with our brands that they frequent. They, especially when it comes to small businesses, they really want to know that we really care about them. And that we're just not some other account number like in the big box chains. So it's really important that we show them that we value them through the entire life cycle of the interaction with them. That means from the time either we answer the telephone, from the time they walk in the door, or from the time that they contact us, even if it's online via email or social media. So it's really important that we have a system that we're following. And today's workshop, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that will help you set up stronger customer relationships. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lori Riddle. I am the owner and founder of The Fit Filled Life. My sole goal is to empower women entrepreneurs just like you to build the life that they want and do what they love. In today's workshop, we're going to be covering the why, the what, the who, and the how to master the art of the follow-up. When we're done, you're going to understand the value of following up with our customers. You're going to be able to handle the no's, because I think that might be one of the key reasons that so many of us fear following up with our customers. We're also going to learn follow-up systems and strategies that's going to make this a lot easier for us. We're going to learn what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. And then most importantly, we're going to learn what to do after the follow-up. But before we delve into continuing with talking about follow-up, you may be wondering, how am I getting all these potential customers in the first place? I think we spend a lot of time on social media. We know how to get them over there, but we don't focus a whole lot of our time offline as far as networking and marketing. It's so much easier for us to talk to people via the computer, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or through email. And I think a lot of us are a little bit afraid or a little bit intimidated on how to interact in real life at functions and talk to real life people. We just don't know really how to go about doing that. So we're going to talk about how important it is to connect with people in your own backyard. And coincidentally enough, a few weeks ago, I was actually hacked on Facebook. So this all started, I believe, on a Monday. I was, interacting with my people on my one of my Facebook groups, and all of a sudden I get a message from Facebook that I've been logged out and I need to reset my password. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I went ahead and I did that, and then it put me through this whole rigmarole of, was this your comment? Did you like this comment? All these things to make sure that it was actually me. Well, it turns out there's a whole bunch of stuff on there that wasn't me. So for my protection, Facebook blocked my account from me and the hacker, which was a little disconcerting, but they told me that I would have it back up by Tuesday sometime in the morning. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, Tuesday rolls around and someone's still trying to hack into my account. They asked me to reset my password again, which I did, but now I don't have my account until Thursday. I'm like, geez, this started on Monday, it's Tuesday, I'm getting comments, I can see everything, I can log in, but I can't comment or react to anything. So I've got all these people that I'm trying to comment with, don't have everybody's email. So long story short, this keeps going on until actually Sunday. So for a whole week, I am blocked from Facebook. I'm blocked from thousands of my followers. I'm unable to put out any new products that I'm offering, any specials that I'm offering. So pretty much all those people are pretty much dead to me, so to speak. And it really got me thinking about this whole, creating relationships offline or grabbing their contact information and actually having it within my email system. So that was just a little bit of a side. So it really is important that we are networking and marketing off of our social media platforms. So you might be asking, how do I do this? Well, the first one is probably the most obvious, and you've probably thought of this, already thought of this, is actually joining relevant networking groups. And I know the idea of you guys walking into a room not knowing anybody can be a little bit scary, but the alternative would be not to share your story and missing out on those people who may be looking for your products and services. They don't necessarily know who you are. They don't know that your product or service actually exists. So going to these networking type events is really, really important for you. I know I hate, I'm not going to say hate, I get very nervous before a networking event. I just went to one a couple weeks ago for the very first time. It's a brand new networking women's group here in my area. And I went, and the whole time I'm like driving over there, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm actually driving. I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll just go shopping instead. I'm pulling into the parking lot and I'm still actually saying, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm walking in. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But you know what? I got there. Once I walked in the door and started actually talking to people, I was like, phew, so this isn't so bad. And by the time the whole event was over, I was super, super excited that I actually went. Coincidentally, again, this actually happened the same week that I was blocked from Facebook. So I actually made connections with 3 new women that I would not otherwise have met. And they are now actually my clients. So all in all, everything worked out really well for me. So that being said, look for networking groups that you have things in common with. There's a lot of them out there. There's, the BNIs and the Chamber of Commerce's, and a lot of them actually request or require that you pay monthly dues. I would suggest before you, shell out any money, that you actually attend a couple of these events. Ask them if you can attend at least one, if not maybe 2 or 3. Before you sign up, so you can see if it's a good fit for you. Some of these are, pretty high pressure networking where, as far as lead sharing, and that might not be for you. I tend to like networking groups that are of people of like mind. So I join a lot of women's networking groups that are a little more casual, that we're actually building relationships. And then if we would happen to know somebody that would benefit from their product or service, then we recommend them. So I like to go to those types of membership networking events. There's a wonderful platform called Meetup. I don't know if you've heard of it, but go on there. It's free for you to join Meetup, and you can generally find a lot of networking groups in your area. So I'm going to move on from that because we could talk about, finding networking groups all day. But another type of networking group that might be a little bit more scary than actually going to an actual networking group is holding a live workshop. This is where you would actually put together a live workshop. You would actually present it to a group of people that either you have found and you have assembled yourself, either through advertising or starting your own meetup group or a Facebook event or what have you. And a lot of times, if you have a speech that you're wanting to put on, you can actually contact your local library, your if it's health related, maybe it's a chiropractor or a yoga studio. A lot of large apartment buildings are looking for topics or events for their residents. You can approach them. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go and actually put on a live workshop. I would suggest you hold, they're free. You go in and you have a product that you want to sell at the end. That way you can get more people, you can get more people on your list, and you can actually show them your value by hosting these workshops. So it's another way for you to get out there. It's maybe a little bit more scarier because you're in the spotlight, but it's a wonderful way for you to actually have the attention of lots of people at the same time. Another way that you can actually network, and it's a little bit different, and I would say that you definitely have a different tactic, is by volunteering your community. Look for groups or charities that are relevant to your experience, but don't go in there thinking that you're going to change everything, that you're going to take over, or that you're going to actually be selling to them. Go in and offer your guidance and your input when asked. Otherwise, enjoy the experience. Enjoy conversing with other volunteers, with the board members, with other administrative personnel, all who are possible people that could refer you to their friends or family or to other contacts. Plus, it just makes you feel good. So, it's a great way to get out there in the community and to meet some people that you would not otherwise meet. Okay. So moving on, pretty much, now that we have all of these new contacts and that we've collected all these business cards, what do we do with them? They just sit on our desk, then the networking event was a complete and total waste of time. So pretty much a missed follow-up is a lost opportunity, is lost revenue. Plus it also puts you in a position of being reactive instead of proactive. It's very vital to the success of any small business. How many times in your career have you said, "I'm so sorry for not following up sooner," or "I meant to reach out to you yesterday," or even worse, "I just plain forgot. I just can't believe that I forgot." Imagine a way that makes your customers feel to know that that they're an afterthought, something worth forgetting. I mean, that probably does not leave them sitting with a very good taste in their mouth. So missing the chance to engage with a customer client is lost opportunity and potentially lost revenue. Like I said, you don't want to be proactive in your response. You don't want to be reactive in your response. If you're reactive, you've actually lost the balance of power. Missing up the follow-up puts you in a position where you have to be reactive or defensive or even apologetic. Plus, this puts your customer or client in the position of holding all the power in the relationship. Put your customer relationships in your control. Follow up when you say you will and develop deeper connection with them. And be the reliable brand your customers depend on. All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. What makes a customer prefer you over the competition? So think about that for a second. And if you'd like to chat, type in your answer in the chat box. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Okay, great. I see a lot of you are actually already, answering with things like great price, friendly, reliable. Actually, the answer to this question is that your loyalty. 53% of customers will buy from a store simply because they like them. Now think about that for a minute. They're buying from you over your competitor just because they like you. Relationships are driving brand loyalty and brand engagement. Here's an example. Think about your favorite brands on social media. What do they have in common? More than likely, they are brands that engage with their customers and focus on building relationships. We've watched as brands who crush it with customer engagement on social platforms soar high to higher sales and greater brand recognition. Why? Customers crave relationships and feeling like you're the only one and only. Be the brand your customers love to engage with, and they'll be loyal to you in return. So, how do you create loyalty? Like we just discussed. You're dependable, you're reliable, you're friendly, you offer quality products, and you offer superior customer service. All of these are examples of relationship building or personalized experiences, and they all start with the follow-up. So follow-up merely is doing what you say you will, when you say you'll do it. It's as simple as that. But in actuality, follow-up could be a lot harder than that. It's easy for me to sit here and tell you to be better about following up with your customer base. Most of us know this basic concept of marketing, but it's easier said than done. We all say that we're going to do it, but more often than not, we just don't make it a priority. I used to be the same way and probably would still be failing at it if I didn't have a system and a tool that I use to manage my follow-ups and to make sure that I do it every single day. I've made this part of my daily routine, but the reality is following up is hard to do. It's easily the most overwhelming part of the job. If you don't have a system and the tools in place to make it easy, it's quite possibly the hardest part of being a small business owner. Okay, so what's the plan? Every day, every morning, first thing I do is I sit down at my phone, sit down at my computer, however it is that I'm operating that day, and I follow up with all my contacts and all my leads that I have in my queue. It's as easy as that. If I haven't heard from them throughout the day, then I respond to all those people very quickly at the end of my day, just to let them know that I'm still thinking of them and that I'm waiting for them to get back with me for whatever that might be. Why am I doing this? Why do I start out in the morning? Because it allows them to communicate with me throughout the day. It puts me on the list of the people that they want to talk to that day. It makes me top of their mind. Plus, this fills my list with timely tasks. I'm in control of my list. I'm in control of this conversation. Be prepared. Be thorough and clear and have a very specific reason for contacting, calling them, texting them, messaging them, however it is that you're getting in contact with them, and have a game plan and action items that you want it to be complete. Give a status check. Even if you're behind schedule, if you owe somebody a quote, say, hey, I know I owe you a quote today. Just wanted to let you know that I am working on it. I will be back to you at the end of the day. Give them details and give them a timeline for when they can expect to hear from you. That's really important. The more that they know, then they realize that you're working on it. You haven't forgot about them. That it is something that is it's on your radar. You haven't pushed them to the side. You aren't working on something else. That you are top of mind for them. Okay, so now you're like, okay, all right, I know when to do it. I know to have a plan, but what am I actually going to say? Remember, this isn't a cold call. You've spoken to these people before. You've engaged with them. You've met them at a networking event. You've met them out at a talk that you're doing. You've met them when you're interacting with those at, when you're volunteering. There's a lot of different ways that you've already met these people. You've had a conversation with them. So what do you say? All right, you're going to refresh their memory. You're going to remind them who you are. Hi, I'm Lori. I met you at last week's networking group. We spoke about X product. You said that you were really interested in that product, and I just wanted to let you know I'm having a special. So these are the ways, you remind them. A lot of people, we meet people all the time. They might just need a little bit of a refresher. Where did we meet? What did we talk about? And this kind of reminds them, oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I was interested in that. I forgot all about it. That happens a lot. I don't know how many times I've thought, oh, I want to research this. Oh, I want to look into that. Oh, so-and-so mentioned this. But then we get busy, we forget these things, and they just kind of fall off our radar. So it's actually kind of nice when people remind you of those things, like, oh, that's right, I was interested in that. So don't feel like you're intruding on people. A lot of times, things just get pushed to the bottom of the pile. Your business card is laying on somebody's desk. They forget or just lose track of time, and it just gets to be something that just kind of falls off the radar. So like I said, you know, refresh their memories. So-and-so said we should connect. We talked about this. You showed an interest in. You indicated that, and last we spoke. These are all great ways to get that conversation started. Okay. I think one reason that a lot of us don't talk about or don't want to follow up is because we're afraid somebody's going to say no to us. 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups after the initial introduction. Think about that. 5 times you need to contact somebody just to make one sale. And I would say that that number is probably even higher. 44% of business owners give up after the first follow-up. That was way too soon. They're missing out on so much opportunity. Remember, if somebody says no today, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be no tomorrow, or maybe even no the next day. Sometimes that is a product or a service that they're just not ready for at the time. Think about that. Their circumstances may change in the future. They may have a need for your product. If it's, let's say it's, you know, you're selling a weight loss product, or you're selling, you know, kitchenwares. Well, maybe everything was all fine and good. Maybe they're hosting a Thanksgiving here, you know, coming up in the short nearby future, and they do need some new pots and pans. They do need some, you know, serving utensils, or maybe it is after the holidays, and you know they put on a couple extra pounds. So maybe now they need your product or service. So what may be no today does not mean it's going to be no in the future. Keep following up with these people. Keep building that relationship with them. Okay, this is a big one. I think a lot of us, you know, collect all this information or collect all these business cards, or we think we put everyone on our email drip campaign. Well, that's all fine and good for those that you meet on the, you know, on the big World Wide Web. They're kind of expecting, if they're signing up to receive something free, they're expecting to get put on your email list. And hopefully you're letting them know that that's, you know, going to happen. So they're expecting the emails. If you meet somebody at, you know, your local Chamber of Commerce meeting, and then you automatically put that person on your email list and just start email dripping them, that's not going to work. That's not the way you build relationships offline. You want to automate the reminder. You know, remind yourself that you need to contact so-and-so tomorrow. That part you can automate. You need to really do these automations via phone, via text, via email. They need to be personal. They don't need to be that drip where you're sending them, you know, new product emails or, you know, new blog post emails. These people need to handle in a different way. So, you know, for them to become engaged and loyal customers, you really need to just, you know, you automate the activity or the reminder, not the activity. Okay, so now you might be asking yourself, what do I do after the follow-up? Well, after the follow-up, you're going to schedule your next engagement. So you talk to them today. They weren't interested in the product today, but they might be interested later. It's not a good time for them to talk. They're going into a meeting. You know, whatever the case may be, as soon as you get off that call with them or you've completed that text with them, you need to make yourself a reminder to follow up with them again. You know, is it going to be in a few days? Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be next month that you're going to follow up with them? If it's really important also to document what the interaction was about. What did we talk about? What did they say? What did I say? And how, you know, what am I going to follow up with them the next time? You know, make all these notes. You think you might remember, but chances are you probably aren't going to remember the details, or you're going to forget some crucial, you know, little nuances that you might want to remember for the next time you talk to them. Maybe when you were talking to them, they were talking, you know, they were really busy, they're getting ready for a graduation party. Well, if you sell something like Pampered Chef, or any other, houseware, kitchen, Southern living, whatever the case may be, you might want to follow up with them the next time you're having a special on serving platters. So if you make these little notes about your conversations, the next time you follow up or the next time you have something that you want to share with them, you have these little notes that will help you remember that. Okay, so we've talked a lot about following up. You're probably thinking, okay, this is all well and good. So how do I actually go about doing this? Well, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. If you've worked with me before, if you've heard any of my webinars before, I'm all about doing things for free. If it works, if it's not more hassle than it's worth. One way that you can actually do this is to actually use something that we all have, and that is Google Docs. Use the spreadsheet feature. It's, you can sort it, you can, make your own columns. The great thing is it is free. You can, in your spreadsheets, you can sort, you can, make your notations. You can put in all the columns that you want in there: name, phone number, email. Do they have kids? Where do they work? What activities do they do? What activities do their kids do? And then you can put in, I called them on X date. We talked about X. I need to follow up with them on such and such date. So, it's a great feature. It's available on all your devices. You can get it on your laptop. You can get it on your tablet. You can get it on your phone. Although it is kind of hard to, see a spreadsheet on your cell phone, it is doable. The great thing is, it is free. Some of the cons though is that there's no automation. You have to be diligent. You have to be, really good about making sure that you are actually entering all this information and that you're going in there on a daily basis to make sure that you're following up with your people. It is manual entry, it's manual management, and sometimes that can get overwhelming for people. Another tool that you have at your disposal is one that I actually just came and learned about a couple months ago. And when I was speaking with Emily, the founder of this company, and she was telling me about it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing tool. I know several of my clients that could use this tool this week. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell you just a little bit about it, and then I'm going to actually show you how this tool works. This is called Shuffle. Everything is automated. It includes lead capture. So when you're actually out and about, you can say, give me your name and email address and I'll send you X. We know how that all works if we're networking or using any type of lead magnet on our website. This actually kind of works in real time, live, face-to-face. It's really actually pretty cool. It integrates with other contact systems. I can easily download all my contacts from the Shuffle app. And then once I have moved them from my, building my loyalty and with them, once they actually become a client of mine, then I can move them into my automation email system. I can sort, I can filter, and it's available on all my devices, and it's easily seen on all my devices. The only con is that you do have to pay for it. It's $10 a month. Some things I feel like, you can create, and, sort of string together a bunch of things to make it work. I do it all the time, and I tell you guys, here's a free option for you. If you can swing $10 a month, sometimes it makes so much more sense to actually have a platform that is already done for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at Shuffle. What I'm going to do is I am going to I have this handy dandy little app that I've downloaded to my phone, and I'm going to hopefully very easily share this with you. So we're going to go ahead and leave this for now. And then I hope you guys can all see this. This is actually on my phone. This is the Shuffle app, and these are what you call business cards. I've actually created a couple different business cards on my phone, and I can just swipe through them very easily for different ones. I've created, this one is I'm promoting a discovery call planner that I have. So if I'm talking to somebody, I can easily share this business card with them. This is just my general business card. And this is what I see. This isn't what your prospective clients are going to see. So when you're out and about, you can just pull up this app and you can easily share this card with them. So you can send this card to them. If you're talking to them, you can open up a new contact and you can type in their name. And then you can either, fill out any information that you want to fill out, and easily send them this, and it'll show up in their inbox. You can text this to them and it'll show up in their text messages, a link, and they click on the link and it actually pulls up the business card. You can also, and this is really, really cool, you can also say, hey, take out your phone, scan this. I don't know if you know this, but most of our cameras on our phones these days are actually QR code readers. So you can easily take out the camera on your phone and scan it. If not, you can use a QR code reader app, which they're free, or you can copy this link and then you can just text it to them. So there's a lot of different ways that they can, you can actually send this to them. So this is actually what they're going to see. This is one of my business cards. This is my general business card. It has links to all my social media accounts here. So, as opposed to a paper business card, you actually have to type in, Instagram at Lori Riddle in order to get to my social media. Most people aren't going to do that. So right here, these are actually live links. Whoops. I'll actually show you how that actually is going to look. See, it takes you right to my Instagram account. If you look at it right now on this one, I have a free new client kit that I'm giving away. If they want to receive it, all they have to do is click download now, and it takes them right to my lead capture page. So they can actually type in the information, and then they're going to get that delivered to them immediately. They can call me. They can, they can text me. They can email me. They can actually even chat with me through the app. Anytime they communicate with me this way, I'm actually capturing their information. So now they're a contact on within my Shuffle account. I can see how many times people have actually looked at my card, what, updated, someone viewed my campaign. I can actually see that. And the great thing about that is when I see someone that I've actually captured their information, if I see somebody looking at my card multiple times, I can actually see that and thinking, hey, this is somebody that actually might want to talk to me. So I can then send them a quick text message, send them, email them, call them, and they're not going to know that I've been watching them, but they're going to think, wow, I was just thinking about you and here you are calling me. You can look at stats on your application. You can see how many times people have looked at it. You can see how many times they've downloaded it. So it's actually pretty neat, way to share your business card. And the reason that I'm showing you this is because now these are actually contacts. These are people that I've talked to. And I can see all the information that has been captured here. I can see that I have follow-up reminders that I need to respond to people. Here's a follow-up reminder. I can actually look. I can see what that reminder was. This one's actually overdue, but I've actually talked to her on the phone. Actually, look at my notes. I can see what my notes were for this. So I pulled her card. We actually met last week. She's one of my new clients. Very glad to have her. So it's actually, keeps everything in here together. I can actually see what cards, I can actually see what cards that I've sent her, how many times she's viewed it. I can call her right from my application. I can text or call. I can also email her right from my application. I can assign tags. So I met this particular lady at a WESOS event, a pool, and I can see all these other women that I connected with at the WESOS event. I actually shared my card with them digitally at that event. It was actually pretty cool. Okay, so that's pretty much in a nutshell. It's really easy to actually make these cards. You can make them on the fly, select a template, and all these different templates that you can use. It pre-fills a lot of it. It asks me if I want to pre-fill with my information, and I say yes. And look, a lot of my information is already pre-filled. All my different ways that you can contact me, Vimeo links. I can also add Zoom, so it's pretty cool. All right, so you're probably thinking, how can I actually use this in real time? So I'm going to go back to my presentation, and I actually have one of my clients. She's attending a huge, it's Fashion Week, I guess, in New York, and she's attending this huge event. She's actually, she's a health coach, so she's actually preparing some food, but she's also has a table at this, event where she is networking and meeting new people. One of the things that she's given away, a free cooking class to anyone that enters. So normally this is one thing that, most of the people have, we always struggle with. How can I easily capture people's names and email addresses when I'm at a live event? A lot of times we'll do a sign-up sheet. That can be cumbersome. You have to go back, depending on how large it is. It's a lot of names and emails that you have to then go back and input. Sometimes you can't read them. So it's an okay way to collect names and email addresses, but it's not the most efficient way to collect them. So when I was talking with Emily from Shuffle, this is one of the situations that I was thinking, oh my gosh, my clients would love this. So what we did for Wendy is she's attending this event. So we created this flyer right here. I'm going to a free cooking class, and here's how you enter. So all they have to do is they take out their phones, they scan the QR code, and it immediately takes them to her lead capture form. Now they're entered. She's got their name, she's got their email address, and she's got their phone number. It's already done. She doesn't have to go back and do this at the end of the day. Or if they, they don't know how to work their camera, or so they're not really sure about it, they can also type in a bit.ly link, and it takes them right to the exact same lead capture form. So she's got this flyer. It's an actual poster that she's got at her booth that she's got hanging up, and then she's got a pamphlet that are for people to take. And I created this insert for her that we're just going to stick into her pamphlet. So even if they walk away from her table and they didn't sign up, which happens a lot, she's expecting a lot of foot traffic, then they can get home and then they can look at this and say, oh, this is actually really interesting. I'm going to go ahead and scan and enter it. So it's a great way to lead capture. She's also going to have some assistants at her table that are going to have a tablet, and they can actually enter the information into the tablet, into the lead capture of the Shuffle program for those people that may not want to take the time to do it themselves. And it's easy. Hey, I'm doing a free cooking class. Would you be interested? Yes, I'd be interested. Well, what's your name? They tell your name, it's Sally, type in Sally and whatnot. So it's actually a great way for them to be able to collect this information, multiple different ways, all going into the same lead capture system. So when she goes home that night, she can, sort through it. She can download an Excel sheet, and then she could, however she's going to decide that she wants to pick, whether she's picking a number out of a hat and then pulling that row number she has a way to do that easily. Another way that you can, you know, do this is sometimes it is a little awkward to go to an event, or if you're putting your name in a hat, you know, to win something, it's nice to have an actual business card. What I've done is I've created a card for people. Usually I say, hey, I have a digital card, let me send it to you. Or I scan their business card, and I'll show that to you in just a second. It's an easy way to capture all their information. You can do it on the fly, or you can also do it when you get home. But I always hand them my business card with, this is the actual backside. I always hand it to them this way. I say, hey, you can get my digital business card by scanning this QR code here. It's easy for them to do. More often than not, we do it before I've even left them. They think it's really, really cool. But also my information is right here. But when they scan this information, if I've set up my card with a lead capture, then I can get their information too. But I real quick want to, I'm going to exit out of this again, and I want to show you how you can actually, on your camera, let me pull this up. Oops, let me find the right one. Okay, yeah, I want to close that. So I'm going to show you real quick how they can actually, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to open up my camera. All right, so I'm going to open up my camera, and that's pulled up, and then I click on here, and as soon as I do that, look, it's pulled up my business card. So another way that they can get to it, and it's kind of fun too. Also, while we've got this out, I want to show you how you can scan their business cards. And I've got a card right here that I collected just the other day. So I'm going to, can you guys all see it? I'm going to open up my camera again. Oh, no, I'm not going to open up my camera. I'm sorry. I'm going to open up my Shuffle app. Now I'm going to swipe, and right here we've got Scan Business Card. I'm going to take a picture of this card. And when I take a picture of that card, it's going to very easily, just move that around. Look, it's filled in their information. So I don't even have to enter the information. This is great. You can do it as you're talking to these people, or when you get home, you can sit there and do it. You don't have to type in everybody's information again. So another easy way that you can collect their information. Okay, so let's go back to our slide. I know I told you I wasn't going to keep you guys here very long, and we're already coming up on about 50 minutes. So I am going to, we're going to kind of wrap this up. You know, mastering the art of the follow-up, you know, it's not hard to do when you have the right systems in place. It's as easy as opening up the program Shuffle. It's as easy as sorting through my contacts, looking to see who needs follow-up, who, you know, I've collected notes on how do they like to communicate. If they generally call me, then I call them back. I'm not going to text a caller. I'm not going to call a texter. So you can make all these notes within the app. I can take action. I know what those actions are because I've made notes on it. And I've also, and I'm quickly and easily, I'm able to document any of my engagements. So I know exactly where we've left off, exactly where we stood, and what we need to do when I schedule the next follow-up. You know, again, kind of, you know, already covered this, but it's very easy to use. It's cloud-based, so it's instantly updated on my phone, on my laptop, on my tablet. I can use it everywhere. The subscription includes unlimited lead captures. I can capture as many contacts as I want. It is, you know, an all-in-one marketing, mobile marketing solution, and it's so simple to use. And you know, it is just $10 a month. And I'll show you how you can get that if you're interested in just a moment. You know, I just wanted to thank you again. These are the ways that you can contact me. You can email me at Lori at the Fit Filled Life. You can visit me on my webpage at thefitfilledlife.com, or you can get your own copy of the Shuffle program. To do that, click on getshuffle.com/Lori.Riddle, or don't even bother writing all that down. Take out your phones right now. Open up your cameras or your QR code readers, whatever you have on your phone, and scan this QR code right over here. It's going to take you right to my digital business card. On my digital business card, I'm going to have all this information for you, so you don't even have to worry about writing it down. Isn't that kind of neat? All right, well, I've kept you guys longer than I said I would. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to answer them for you. If you need some, talk about, how can you use this in your situation? I'd love to talk to you about it. Again, thank you and have a great day.